guys, so it's not very often that I will do a tutorial, and that's not what we're going to call this. I'm just going to show you the makeup that I posted on Instagram on Saturday. It was our first date night of 2021. I was really feeling it. I was really feeling my makeup, and a couple of people requested that I recreate it on YouTube, and so here we are. Also, I did my brother's garden for him yesterday, and my joints, like my wrists and my elbows, are like, ah. As I'm moving my hands, I can hear them like click, 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 click. Before we start, I want to just address, this is not going to be particularly budget friendly. I know I talk about a variety of things now, but this particularly is relatively high end. So I started with the Vita Liberata Body Blur, which is a body product, but I mixed it in with my foundation and used it on my face. I used this mixed in with the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Tinted Water Cream. Basically just to kind of like bronze up a little bit, because although, lost the lid, although I have tanned a little, I spent a little bit more time outside than usual this past week or so. I always do factor 50 on my face, and so my face and my body did not match. It's called Body Blur. It basically is like a soft focus kind of diffusing type of makeup, and I love it. I really am a fan. Not a huge fan of fake tan in general. I've made videos about them. I've done kind of like weekly tests and stuff like that, specifically for YouTube, but it's very rare that I will use a fake tan, kind of unless I'm filming something about it. Whereas the Body Blur, I've gone back to time and time again, because it's an instant tan, but more than that, it's kind of like skin perfecting. Not that we need to do that, but I like what it does for the times that I want that. Do you remember when Kim Kardashian talked about body makeup and covering up her psoriasis, and everyone went bananas as if it was a new thing? This is kind of like a fancier version of the Sally Hansen. What was it called? Something legs. It just kind of perfects. So not a lot of coverage, and so I did a little bit of concealer. This is the Born to Glow from NYX. I think part of the problem with fake tan and stuff for me, apart from the fact that the main thing is the smell, I really can't stand the smell, is because I have got a good amount of pigmentation. My skin tends to look kind of uneven anyway, and then once you add a tan to it, it looks like the tan's gone wrong. Like you can see kind of here, it makes it look dirtier than if my skin was like super even and clear. So maybe that's part of it, but you know, just part of my face. I used to get comments frequently from people saying that I hadn't blended in my makeup correctly, or that I'd smudged something somewhere. Like, no, it's just some skin. Now, NARS Sex Appeal. It's this kind of like slightly pinky peachy, not too much colour, beautiful with a tan, beautiful on super pale skin. It's definitely my all-time favourite blush. Then I did the e.l.f. matte setting powder. Now, I'm not sure whether or not this is like an HD, because I remember seeing something on Instagram ages and ages ago about HD powders, and it absolutely blew my mind, because I had no idea that that's how they worked. I don't know if you've seen this as well, but they put an HD powder on their arm. Like they just kind of put a thing of HD powder like down the centre of their arm, let it like set for a second, and then got a really pigmented blush and drew it across their arm. And where the HD powder was, it just resisted it. It was like, it didn't take on that part. And it's basically, they were saying it's a finishing powder. It's not something to put on like in between other things, because everything you put on top of it won't stick. And ever since then, I've been super mindful of, so when, depending on what this powder is, it really matters when I put it on, because I would quite like to do powder and then I'll do bronzer and blush, but that doesn't work with all powders. So I'm not sure, truly, whether or not that is, it doesn't say HD, but I don't know whether or not it is, and what I'm about to do next might make no sense, but this is what I did on Saturday. Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. This is just the mini version. I think this is like I want to say this is £15. You can get it from a few different places. Lasts forever. I don't think I would ever need a large size of this, but if I was to buy a full-size Hourglass product, it would be this. It's the most flattering, beautiful highlight. I could put this all over my face and it wouldn't look too crazy, but I just kind of do this area, my nose, my forehead, and it gives me a glow. Oh, I just love it. It's just, you know, it is diffused light is what it is. It gives me a glow without any kind of shimmer. It just is that illuminated look. I used the Naked 2 palette, which I apologise. I know you can't get this anymore. I don't understand. But I did just use Suspect. You might be able to buy that as a single shadow. Or, of course, just dupe it elsewhere. I used Suspect on the inner half of my lid, and Snakebite, which is a little deeper but still cool. It's not like as warm as Smog, which is one of my absolute favourites. This is kind of cooler than that, but I just put this kind of on the outer corner and blend it into the middle so it kind of is the second half of my eyelid. And then I swoosh it all about with a fluffy brush. Then I've got the Physicians Formula Gel Eyeliner in Satin Brown. This is part of a trio. They do like a matte, a satin, and like a shimmery one in one pack. These are fantastic. Really, really easy to work with. Not using a lot, just a little bit of extra definition on the outer corner to kind of lift my eye a little bit, because I've found that as I get older, they're kind of drooping down a little. And so I put just a little on the top here. And I think that kind of like thickens my lash line, but it also brings my lash line up. Maybelline Lash Sensational, because of course, favourite ever. Lips were 2 products, but I did something a little bit different. It's a bit out there because it's a bit 80s, but I did lip liner and then a gloss because I knew I was going out to eat and I didn't want a full lipstick that was going to kind of look odd and then have to be removed and reapplied. So I did the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. Is it called the Lip Cheat? Yes. In Pillow Talk. Just a little, not all the way. Can you see? Like my lip line is here, but the colour of my lip is like a couple of millimetres above that. So I do just like to fill in to where my actual lip line is. And then a little bit of definition because I've got kind of like a wobbly situation here. I don't have particularly well-defined lips. And so I just like to do just a little bit of definition. Right, okay, so I didn't do anything else. I might like smudge it out a little bit so it's not too harsh of a line. And then a rediscovered gloss, which is the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine in Obsessed. I don't know if you can still get this, but I hope you can because it smells amazing. It says Ultra Cushion Lip Gloss. And the smell, this is, I think, my favourite scented product. It's like, it's minty, but it's more than sweet minty. It might even be chocolatey. It's just, While we were out at dinner, I reapplied this and I said to Lee, just smell this. He said, after 8s, you might be right. Now, the lip gloss did kind of make the liner a little darker. So it does, do you remember that? Probably. I mean, this was a 90s thing, wasn't it? Like a darker lip liner and a lighter lip. But I remember watching Big Brother. This is a way throwback. And I think that the girl was called, I say girl, I nearly said character. That's what reality TV show has become. She was called Kagi. And this was my first experience. I must have been maybe even preteens when this came out. It was my first experience of seeing someone do makeup like that. And she always had a really dark, almost like a brown lip liner and very, very pale lipstick. And that is that's my frame of reference when I think of that kind of 90s lip. And finally, I did leave my hair to dry naturally, a la right now, because it is too hot to do anything else. And I used the Frizzy's Secret Agent, which is like a lotion. It's fantastic. If you don't like kind of serums and oils and stuff because you feel like they either make your hair feel greasy or weighed down or whatever, this is really, really nice if you've got kind of straight or like nicely curled hair. It just kind of gives it a really smooth, sleek something. But I also found that if I leave my hair to dry naturally, I can kind of use it to scrunch and make it almost look like an intentional style rather than just, I woke up like this. And because I am 35, I still do enjoy a side part. And that's it. That is how I did my makeup. It feels very glowy, and I would attribute that to the body blur, which if you haven't tried it, I have tried other things like this as well, and I just think, I mean, it's lasted a really, really long time because I use it very sparingly. I'll use it, like for example, on Saturday I used it a little mixed in with my foundation. I used it kind of like down here a little bit to blend out, and I used it on my thighs a very small amount just to kind of like give them a bit of a sheen and give myself a little bit of extra confidence. But I didn't put it anywhere else. I didn't like put it on my arms or anything. You don't have to use it everywhere. It's not that kind of product. You can use a small amount of it. You can even mix it in with some body lotion, and it just kind of gives that soft focus situation. So that, and I would say Hourglass Dim Light does the same thing. That kind of like slightly blurring glow. Really, really into it. Very, very flattering. And still super sad that you can no longer buy the Urban Decay Naked 2, but happy for myself that I had a nearly brand new one, because I didn't appreciate what I had when it was new. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'm also vlogging on my other channel, which will be linked below, and you can see what I did in my brother's garden, which has caused, by the end of this video, honestly, I'm like, I need to go for some kind of massage. I've really done something to this wrist. But thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you guys on Friday for another Faves and Fails. Bye!